The Shadow in Yorkshire. Part 1, Leeds, 1979. The rain had stopped, but the streets still glistened under the pale yellow glow of the street lamps. Claire pulled her coat tighter and walked quickly, heels clacking against cobblestone. The pubs had closed an hour ago, and the air was filled with the lingering echo of laughter and slammed doors. She wasn't supposed to walk home alone. Every headline screamed the same warning: the Ripper is out there. Women were vanishing, found later in alleys, their lives stolen. The police urged everyone to stay indoors, travel in groups, call for taxis. But the buses had stopped, the taxi queue was empty, and her flat was only 10 minutes away. She told herself she would be fine. Just 10 minutes. Halfway down the lane, she heard it. Footsteps not her own, slow, heavy, deliberate. She glanced back. Still, the sound kept pace with her, always a few steps behind. Her pulse quickened. She turned down a narrow street, nearly slipping on the slick stones. For a moment, the footsteps faded. Relief fluttered through her chest. Then from the alley ahead, a figure emerged, tall, motionless, waiting. The streetlight flickered, and his shadow stretched toward her feet. Claire froze, breath caught in her throat. The footsteps behind her started again. Now she was trapped. Part 2. She wanted to scream, but no sound left her throat. Claire backed against the wall, eyes darting between the figure ahead and the sound of footsteps closing in behind her. Her heart hammered, rain dripped from a broken gutter, echoing like a clock counting down. Then the man ahead stepped forward. The lamplight caught his face, half in shadow, half lit. Nothing stood out, not handsome, not ugly, ordinary, the kind of man you'd pass in daylight and forget. But his eyes, they never blinked. "Evening," he said softly. The words slithered across the street, too calm, too practiced. Claire forced her voice. "Stay back." Behind her, the footsteps stopped. She risked a glance. Another figure stood in the darkness, silent, blocking the way she'd come. Her stomach dropped. The Ripper wasn't a man. He was a fear that spread, multiplying, seeping into every alley and shadow of Yorkshire. Stories twisted, warnings grew louder, but the truth was worse. Nobody knew his face. And in that moment, Claire realized it could be anyone. The man in front smiled. His teeth glistened faintly in the light. "You shouldn't walk alone." Her hand fumbled for the house key in her pocket, metal cold against her shaking fingers. She wasn't sure if she'd use it to unlock a door or to fight. Part 3. Days later, whispers spread through Leeds. A woman was missing, no body yet, no statement from police. Just another name added to the growing list. Sharon, a waitress at the corner cafe, served coffee to tired detectives every morning. They never spoke about it, but she saw the exhaustion in their eyes. She saw the way women lingered at the cafe after dark, afraid to walk home alone. The town had changed, doors bolted shut, curtains drawn tight. The sound of boots on pavement after sunset turned heads. Husbands escorted wives, fathers waited outside for daughters. A whole city held its breath, but fear made monsters out of shadows. Sharon swore she saw him once. Walking home late, she caught the reflection of a man in a shop window. Tall, coat collar up, head low. She spun around, no one was there. Another night, she heard footsteps behind her. She ducked into an alley, pressed against the wall. A man passed by, whistling softly, hands in his pockets. Normal, ordinary. And that was the worst part. The Ripper wasn't a ghost or a demon. He was a man who looked like everyone else, who walked the same streets, drank in the same pubs, bought bread from the same shop. Sharon never saw his face that night, but she swore she heard him whisper as he passed, "Careful now. The dark belongs to me."